Joanna Rice, welcome and thank you for participating in hashtag EVAW to promote the elimination of violence against women and raising awareness for this really important day. I am thrilled to be here with you. Can you just tell me in 2 seconds a little bit about yourself?
Sure. Thank you for having me here, Jane. I appreciate the time to talk about corporate social responsibility at Match Group and why it is important for companies to be involved in having an impact beyond their day-to-day business. I am the Senior Vice President and Global Head of Social Impact at Match Group, and I have been at the company for a little over 10 years now. And I lead our initiatives on social activism, engagement, and philanthropic giving, employee volunteerism, and environmental sustainability.
Wonderful. You have a great, huge portfolio. Social responsibility is really the cost of entry at this point for companies. They need to address things from education to climate to disease. But still, gender-based violence issues are much less common and much more problematic, I think, for companies to think about. So why is this an opportunity? Why is this a priority at Match Group?
So Match Group's mission overall is to spark meaningful connections for every single person worldwide. So as a company whose focus is creating relationships, we want to ensure that those relationships are safe, respectful, healthy, and fun. Period. Ending gender-based violence is a focus area of social impact for Match Group because we have a platform where this is important and where we can make a real difference in this area.
That's great. Again, not many companies are willing to take on this issue. And I give you a lot of credit because in your space, it could be particularly nerve-wracking for companies to take on this issue. So organizations have addressed the gender-based violence in a variety of ways. They've created PSA campaigns, billboards. They focused internally on policies and protocols for employees who are in abusive situations. Even some trying to push the legislative agenda. What approach has Match Group taken to address gender-based violence for online and offline interactions, especially because you're so global?
So Match Group has done a variety of things to help raise awareness of gender-based violence online. So as a company, we see our role helping to influence social change. We educate our users, our employees. We think we can do things both internally and externally. So we have done both. We educate users on green flags and red flags and consent. And we've worked with gender-based violence orgs like No More to support survivors and offer resources. And so, for example, we've worked closely with No More over the last several years. You were a founding member of our industry first Match Group Advisory Council. So the MGAC has been around for over 6 years. And we've worked with you and other GBV organizations to educate employees and educate users on external campaigns pushing for legislative change, like the reauthorization of VAWA or Violence Against Women Act. We've provided internal support and sent company-wide emails about offering assistance. We've led workshops and Zoom webinars and self-defense classes. We've done so many things. And then globally, as you know, we partnered with No More in 2023 and again this year in 2024 to launch healthy dating guides across 8 European countries. I have them written down. So Germany, Spain, Sweden, Norway, Denmark, Italy, France, and the Netherlands in native languages on several of our platforms, Tinder, Hinge, Meetic, Our Time. As you know, gender-based violence happens everywhere. And so it's really important for us to be global. These guides are culturally nuanced in local languages. They provide actionable steps and considerations for every stage of the dating journey, from online to in real life, from before you go on that first date to while you're on that date and beyond. They've also influenced further work outside of Europe, and we've released similar guides in India and Japan. We have an Are You Sure feature that started on Tinder. It moved to Hinge, Plenty of Fish, Meetic. We know that these initiatives and steps that we've taken and product enhancements that we've made change behaviors. We have data on it. We studied it. And I mean, I can keep going and provide even more examples to the nail salon that we just launched, our pop-up about nailing dating, to provide tips, like nail tips, the pun. I love a good pun, for safe dating, in London. There are just so many examples of ways that we have partnered with you and No More over the last several years. And it's not going to end. We have to be consistent. This isn't a one-time a year thing. This is ongoing and has been for many years. And we think it is really important.
What has been the reaction of your users to this? Have they appreciated it? Have they pushed back?
No, we have not seen much pushback. We've seen a lot of acceptance and behavior change. Are You Sure has led to a 17% user behavior change in language, a prompt that you receive before you send a message, making sure, do you really want to send this message? Does this sound right? And it's interesting because we want to give users options. Something that may feel offensive to one person, someone else may like or be interested in. So we want to make sure, dating is personal, that people have options to feel personal. And the resources are there for users who want to use them, and everyone should check them out. Safety is proactive. It's not just reactive. You don't need to wait until something bad happens. And we have these resources available online to think about before you meet someone in real life or go on a date. And so I think we've seen that users really appreciate that. Our green flags have received a lot of positive feedback. And so we just want to keep going and provide support and content to our users where they're at, and they can receive it in a manner that feels good to them.
That's amazing. And I appreciate the fact that you guys are not a one and done. That's very common. So thank you for that. So last question, what do you want to tell other companies, either in the tech space, business in general, who are watching, hear this, considering, thinking about, potentially doing work around gender-based violence? What do you want them to know?
This shouldn't be limited. We know that gender-based violence, sexual assault globally affects, what was the statistic, Jane? 1 in 3 people?
Yep. Yes.
I mean, that is just an issue that affects everyone. And so every company should think about the people who work there, their employees, their users, and how they can make them feel safe and protected, and the steps that they can take to make people safer. We are working with organizations like No More. They can partner with organizations like No More, and take active steps consistently to do something. I mean, we have advanced our safety features. We've taken user feedback. We've expanded ID verification globally, share my date, anti-harassment features that, we know work. And so other companies can do the same thing that makes sense in their space and figure out what feels right, what feels personal, and what feels accepting and makes sense. These partnerships like No More around the world make sense for our platforms and our users to provide our users with the safest possible dating experience that they can have. That is our goal. That is important to us. And every company could think about what makes sense in their industry, whether they're in Latin America or Asia. We're working to expand our work globally and make sure that the response to violence against women is culturally nuanced, that it makes sense. And so just thank you for No More and all of the great work that you do globally. And we're proud to partner with you and support it.
Well, thank you. We're thrilled to be working with you. And thank you for doing the plug for No More for me, so then I don't have to do it. Much appreciated. But thank you, Joanna, for your time and for participating and for really all the work that you do. It is really pioneering in a lot of ways. And we and everyone else really appreciate it.
Thank you.